Right on fucking time, dude. How you doing, Wolf?
We're not used to that, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm just playing another celebration live on the air. So we're recording this live, right? But we're gonna be bouncing in and out from on the air and on the stream.
Sounds
Good to
good.
see you again. I don't know if you recall, but we've
Yes,
we've
dude.
chatted before.
Yeah, it was back in 2020, man. It's been a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In fact, actually, Wolfgang, this you were my first interview back on this show, so we were still getting things kind of set up. And I was just transitioning from the classic rock station and just kind of getting my bearings. And they're like, "You want to talk to Wolfgang Van Halen?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" And so we did it in the afternoon. It was cool. And that was literally just as we were getting the ball rolling. And then fast forward a couple years later, we're rocking and rolling. We're jamming the shit out of your music, and everything's going good for both of us, which is good.
Absolutely, man. Happy for you. This is great.
I'm happy for you. And you know what? I'm digging the long rock star hair. It's growing in nicely, dude.
Oh, you didn't have it back then?
Well, it's getting longer.
It
Oh,
was longer, but like now it's really it's gone now. Now I need to have one of these with me at all times so I can put it back and get it out of the way because it's.
Are you man bunning it? Are you a man bunner now?
I got a hat and that with me at all times as a just in case because it gets in the way. But for the show, it's great.
Well, I'm sure, especially as it gets hotter and stuff. I was just checking out the pictures of you performing at the Download Festival, which looks sick. And in fact, actually,
Download is a good example of why I should have put my hair in a ponytail because if you see every single picture is like this because of the wind. And I'm literally following my hair every time I breathe in to sing.
Was it difficult? Was it kind of getting in the way of you trying to hit some of those notes?
I started singing like to the left of my mic, so at least my hair would have a barrier to not directly out myself.
No, I love that. That's on the fly. You're just like, how can I block this hair while your hands are like busy? Of course, jamming
way
out.
busy. Like I can't do anything unless it's like a verse.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to pull this up. So I want to show Rico here and everyone who's going to be watching this later. This is Wolfgang's view of the Download Festival. So yeah, of course, it's a massive festival in the UK, right? I mean,
no, it's the festival. Like I've been hearing about it my whole life. Back when it was Monsters of Rock and Van Halen headlined. Back in the 80s, it was, I'd always heard about Donington Park from my dad growing up, and then it became Download, and then that was our first time, my first time ever playing it, and Mammoth's first time. So it was on the main stage. It was crazy. I'll never forget it.
So was performing at Download like one of those bucket list like kind of goals that you have?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, just to be able to do like the festival circuit out here, because the European festivals are just nuts.
Right.
We're in Sweden right now, and we did Sweden Rock, which was such a great festival too. It's really fun. We've yet to really do the festival circuit with Mammoth, so to be able to start doing that is like, okay, cool. It's another part of it. It's like, okay, we're doing it.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking with Wolfgang Van Halen live Rock 102.1 KFMA about the latest performance at the Download Festival and the other music festivals. What's the difference between doing a festival circuit as opposed to a headlining circuit? Besides the catering, I'm sure is even better.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, we're really mixed up right now because we've done some headliners. We're doing a couple shows with Alter Bridge. We're doing the festival shows, and we're playing with Metallica.
Yeah.
We're just constantly flopping. Like, what's the stage going to be like today? Like, it's exciting. It's fun, But yeah, I mean, headliners usually, it's you're focused on doing your own thing. But with festivals, it's like it's fun because you get to, like, we all hung out and we watched Ghost and Pantera and Alter Bridge. Like it's fun. You get to be like a little festival goer yourself at the same time, especially if you have an early show, which we did at Sweden Rock, which was really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any bands you've seen for the first time where you're just like, oh man, they're you're like kind of blown away by?
Yeah, Pantera sounded really, really good. I was like, man, it's really cool to hear those tunes. And being able to, I don't know, it's like, it's a different context. Like, I've seen Alter Bridge a bunch of times, but seeing them at a festival is just so fun because it's a different energy,
Right.
Are their own thing for sure.
Yeah, and so you're basically going from playing in front of like a few thousand people to like over 50,000 people any given night. If the energy changes for sure. When and as I'm pulling up this picture again from you, a download festival, it's a weird setup because they have kind of the ramp around where you could go and do your like rock star thing, lean into the crowd and show all that. But the main stage has like it seems like a 200-person pit in front of it and then a barrier.
Yeah.
Where do you like look out into the crowd when you're performing? Do you have a focal point that you're like kind of trying to concentrate on?
At the horizon, but normally I close my eyes a lot when I'm singing too, because I find myself people watching while I play, and then I end up forgetting the lyrics because I'm just like, hey, like look, everybody's having a good time, and then I realize I was supposed to start singing. So
Yeah.
usually it's not till I get comfortable like mid tour where it's sort of like muscle memory at a certain point. Usually the first the tour I kind of close my eyes a lot so I don't get distracted.
Right, yeah, that's that. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. I mean, especially if you're looking at the festivals and you're seeing people like raging and partying, and that's probably one of the best places to people watch. In fact,
Yeah, no,
you're like about to get into your second verse and be like, I think that chick just took her top off. What's going on?
Yeah, there are crazy things.
Yeah. We're talking with Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth WVH. Of course, you just released two singles here. Well, the one that we just played on the air, Another Celebration at the End of the World. That's going to be off the upcoming album Mammoth 2, which is available on August 4th. I think you show you continue to impress with your musicianship, right? Which it shouldn't be too much of a surprise and stuff, but there's some shredding on Another Celebration. Was that you all over that guitar solo?
Yeah, no, that's everything you hear on that song. That's me. That's all me.
Yeah, well, the conversation and what's been trending the last like 24 hours is talking about how Mammoth WVH is a band and not a solo project, and for sure that's the case. But at the same time, you're a multi-instrumentalist, so you're playing all over these tracks, are you not?
Yeah, no, literally the whole everything you hear on Mammoth recorded is me. Live we have our live band, but in the studio I'm the band.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I know that we probably talked about this before when tracking, say, Another Celebration. Are you starting with the rhythm of the song? Or are you starting with the guitar or the melody in your head when you sing it?
In terms of writing, usually everything kind of starts with like a guitar sort of riff idea.
Right.
But I mean, with recording, I mean, at least the way we do it, we always do drums first, and then bass, and then guitar, and then vocals. So I mean, that's usually the general order of things when it comes to recording.
Yeah, and didn't you start on drums too?
Yeah, when I was 9.
Right. So is it easy for you? I know the biggest pain in the ass for bands when they record on a lower level as they work their way up is to record to the click, know the tempo, keep the tempo. And then you're laying the drums first. Now, luckily you laid the guitar down as well, or what the guitar riff is because you wrote the song.
That too, but yeah, usually if there's like a scratch demo that I'm playing too, that we kind of figure out like, okay, this is the proper tempo of the song, and then we just kind of get in there and figure it out.
Are there any songs off this upcoming album where you were like one take Jake, where you went in and you're like the guitar part, you got it on the first time, like nailed it?
There's a song called Take a Bow on the album, and it kind of starts with this clean, semi-complicated little rhythm that happens for the intro, and it continues until the chorus, and it's maybe about like 1:40 of this repeated part. And I was able to fully get it in one take with no punches, which was crazy because it's really long and your hand is just in this uncomfortable position the whole time. And so, yeah, technically I one take Jaked that one.
Yeah, I'll take a bow. Nice.
But I mean, when we record drums, like usually we do it in takes anyways. It's not like we just basically play through the song like 5 times and pick the best sections, So
right. Yeah.
Not really
well, I mean, you've been busy. You've been nonstop busy from almost since the last time I talked to you. Since like pandemic ended and shows started going, you were out doing club dates, kind of showing people you were the real deal, winning people over, going viral for it. And you showed that. I mean, your voice is fantastic. Your songwriting is killer. These singles that you go in couldn't be any different. than each other. So shows range and they're catchy. So I mean, I'm continued to be impressed by it, which is great.
Thank you.
But yeah, you went from since pandemic and stuff. You went around touring around the world, opening up for some of the biggest bands in the world. Last time I talked to you, you were just about to open up for Guns N' Roses in a fucking stadium, right? So,
Like, no biggie.
yeah. But during that time, that's still a short amount of time where you're, professional gigging musician on the road consistently. How much do you believe you developed and evolved as a live performer in the last like 3 years?
It's a different thing compared to what I've done before. Before it was just, bass. But with this, it's like I'm the dude of the band. I'm singing, I'm playing guitar. So it's definitely forced me into a position that I'm not usually comfortable with, which is being the center of attention.
Right.
But when it comes to Mammoth, so I think I've gotten better at just overall handling it. I think just the more you do it, I think I've become a better singer, a better front man, so to speak. And it's just a matter of doing it, really.
Yeah. Getting your reps in.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like that 10,000 hour rule. The more time you put to it, the closer you are to kind of mastering it, so to speak.
Absolutely. And then since you're a multi-instrumentalist and you're playing everything, would you consider you've put in your 10,000 hours on every instrument, or which instrument do you feel like you played the least, but you could still pull off?
I don't know. I mean, I'm most comfortable on the drums, which is why it's so fun. I'm not ready to give that up in the studio at all yet. But I mean, I think that's why Mammoth is such a fun thing for me, because I feel like singing and guitar are probably my weakest of all the things that I can play. So it kind of forces me to get better.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun thing to be about.
That is funny that you're like the two things that you say
I
you're
know.
weakest at are two things.
I'm like, oh my God, his voice.
And the
You're like,
guitar work.
"Meh."
I mean, look, obviously there's always going to be comparisons to your dad, but it's going to continue to be the case when you continue to put down licks like you're putting there. Where I'm just like, oh, there it is. That's the drummer. That's the kid who grew up playing drums. Those are some killer shreds, dude. It's nice. It's very good, and it's very catchy. So with this album, how many tracks are on the album that's going to be released on Mammoth 2? How many?
There's 10 tracks.
10 tracks. Okay.
Yeah.
Which now everyone has a personal favorite when they hit the road that they can't look forward to, or they can't wait to share with people. What song is that off of this album right now that you're looking forward to playing in front of people the most?
I mean, the album as a whole is very exciting. I'm just excited for everybody to hear it. But the very first song, I think, really sets the pace and is very exciting. It's aggressive but melodic. It's called Right. I'm really excited for people to hear that one. But overall, just the energy of the album. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not super long. It's just 10 songs. It's I'm excited. It's gonna be fun once everybody hears it.
Nice. And are all these like tracks kind of like around 3-4 minute range, or you have anything where you go down the rabbit hole and kind of jam it out?
Oh yeah, no, there's a couple close to 7-minute songs. They that kind of close each half. Like it'll really be great to listen to on a vinyl record, because it's 5 and 5 split, and each side ends with a close to 7-minute song. So it's kind of happens in 2 parts. So nice. It's really cool.
And are you going to be doing like a special release vinyl? Is there any kind of theme? Because obviously, before I let you go, because I know that you have a sound check and you're in Sweden right now. We're talking with Mammoth or Wolfgang Van Halen from Mammoth WVH. What is the theme of your album art? Because you got what's the best way to describe it? I mean, it looks like a gas station with fireworks coming out of the top of it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Apocalyptic.
I think if it wasn't called Mammoth 2, Another Celebration at the End of the World would probably be the title track, so to speak, at least by looking at it. It's a piece of art by John Brosio, who did the first album cover as well, and it's just it really resonated with me. I think it perfectly represented sort of my headspace while creating the album, and just kind of post 2020, and just kind of everything that had happened in my life and in everyone's lives. And I just think overall you can kind of hear me working through that on the album. It's definitely a bit darker, more aggressive, but still overall encompassing the sound that you'd be familiar with if you knew the first album.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I really consider you part of the class that is this post-pandemic rock and roll that we have. And it's a little bit aggressive. It's a little like it's beautiful in a sense of hope, but also kind of like, they have this inner turmoil of uncertainty where like, in the times that we're living in,
It's funny. There's sort of a duality to the music where it's like, if you just want a surface level, fun, upbeat rock with some good melody, that's there. But if you want to like dive in and listen to the lyrics and kind of get it, there's a whole second level kind of underneath that surface that's way deeper if you're willing to kind of dig for it.
Right, yeah. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to hear the entire record. Mammoth 2 is going to be out in August, so be ready for that. Of course, we've been playing another Celebration End of the World, and singles are dropping on Spotify regularly. Are you coming back to the States anytime soon, Wolfgang? Can we see you anytime soon?
It's funny that you mentioned it. August 4th, the day the album comes out, will be our first date in the States with Metallica and Pantera.
Nice.
On top of basically what I'm doing out here right now is what we're going to be doing in the States. We're going to be jumping between Metallica shows and a tour with Alter Bridge and Seven Dust. That's going to be a really great show. So you guys got to come around to see that. So many different shows from August once the album drops and onward. That's really looking forward to. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm checking your calendar right now. Looks like you have 0 days off. So
yeah, that is true. That is true. I think the only time I have off is in October when I finally get married.
Nice. Oh, congratulations on that as well, dude. Yeah. Is it gonna be like big massive affair?
No Kardashian shit. Like, it's just kind of people we love and care about to celebrate, getting married, and that's kind of about it.
I love it, dude. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us and hanging out all the way from Sweden. Absolutely. We'll do it again. And when you come back to the States and, you got big supporters here, I'm just proud of you, dude. I don't even know you personally, but everything that you're accomplishing, you're on fire. Keep it up, dude. And we'll talk soon.
Thanks so much, man. You guys take care.
No worries. Bye. Wolfgang Van Halen, everybody.
In Sweden.
Sweet.